Hello, today I'm looking for some rather special parents. If you have children under about 12 years old and you'd like to help them with their mathematics, but perhaps you're not quite sure how to go about that, and you're fed up with all the jingles, bells and whistles that you get with most math software these days and would prefer some solid mathematical activities, then please stay with me. If not, you can click the skip ad button down there in the right hand corner and enjoy your movie. Hello, my name is Alan Young, and I know some of you are already familiar with my work in the field of mathematics education. If you do have children up to about 11 or 12 years old, then I have a great free resource for you which will help boost their confidence in their maths lessons. Actually, the resource is in two parts, but I'll come to that in a second or two. You know, a great number of parents and primary school teachers really want to help their children with their mathematics education, but they just don't feel confident to do so. Is this how you feel? Do you think that perhaps you don't have the right mathematical knowledge? Or is it because you just can't think of what activities to do with your children to help them? Now, whatever the reason, time can tick by. You can put the situation off for another day, another week, another month. And as those months tick by, your children can feel less and less confident in their mathematics lessons. Well, actually, there's an awful lot you can do about it very easily. Now, this is a great shame, and I've found in my experience that this situation can pass down from generation to generation, and unfortunately, it often does. You know, most children can be really good at mathematics. There's no reason why they shouldn't be at all. And all children, regardless of mathematical ability, can find mathematics to be a fun and exciting subject. And as we adults know, the more fun and exciting something seems to us to be, the more we are likely to learn about it. Now, as I said a moment ago, the resource I'm offering you is in two parts, and it's completely free, of course. The first is a set of videos that explain many of the mathematical concepts that children need to understand, and once you've signed up, I shall send you emails at weekly intervals giving you the links to these videos. As an example, I will be discussing, say, fractions. Now, many people believe that fractions are quite redundant these days, as we now live in a largely decimal world. But I shall be explaining why fractions are just as important as ever. And I shall also be telling you the most important concept about fractions that your children need to know and give you some ideas of games you can play to help them. I'll also be discussing the language of mathematics, how beautiful it is, and surprisingly perhaps, how easily your children can master it. I'll explain why mathematics is all around us and how you can train your youngsters to spot it. I shall be looking at things like sorting, the importance of times tables, 2D shapes, 3D shapes, problem solving, and many other topics. Did you know that you can start your children on the road to mathematics almost from the day they're born? But no matter how old they are now, this is the time to get them cracking. The second part of this free resource is access to the videomaths.com website that contains another set of videos showing you experiments, projects and games your children can do in your own home to start enjoying maths and trigger those learning responses. From the menu on this website, you can choose the activities that you feel are most suited to the age and ability of your own children. And you can vary them, of course, to suit your particular child. In a moment, I'm going to finish by showing you just one of these activities, so you can get a flavour of how I approach this. And when you're ready, remember to just click the link below to go to the videomaths.com website and sign up. You'll then receive your username and password to access the website. Okay, so having said all of that, here's one of the samples. You'll notice it's solid maths, it's not all jingles, bells and whistles. Please enjoy. Okay, here's a question for you and I want a very quick answer, please. Which weighs more, this piece of A4 paper or this pencil? Quick now, have you decided? Well, let's find out. Now, if I try and put this piece of paper on the scales, there can be two problems. First of all, it can cover up the scale, which makes it difficult to read. And sometimes, if it's bendy paper, it can flop down onto the table, and the table's taking some of the weight. So here's a neat way of getting around that.
Take something like a bowl, anything that's got a bit of height to it, and put it on there. And you'll remember the weight of that is called the tear. And if we press the reset button, that just gets rid of the tear and sets it to 0. You'd have done that in previous experiments, I hope. Then we can just put the piece of paper on the top. No problem, we can see the scale quite clearly. 5 grams. Now let's try the pencil. 3 grams. So in fact, this piece of A4 paper, oh, it's gone down to 2 now, so it must be hovering between the two, somewhere around 2.5 grams probably. So this piece of paper actually weighs twice as much as that pencil. Now that's very surprising, isn't it? I hope you got it right. Now, if I put a single sheet of paper on there, it gives me 5 grams, but remember that's to the nearest gram. These scales only weigh to the nearest gram. So it could be exactly 5, or it could be 4.9, or 4.8, or 4.7, it could be 5.1, or 5.2. So if we want to get a more accurate result, what are we going to do? Well, the thing to do is to put lots of paper on. Now here we have a pack of 500 sheets, of course. So let's put the whole lot on there and see what that comes to. 2,604 grams. Now, if I take my calculator, and in here I put 2,605, it's 5 now, hovers a bit, divided by 500, because there are 500 sheets there, that gives me 5.21 grams per sheet. Now, those of you that can multiply decimals, you'll know that if you multiply this number by 10, it moves one place to the left, and that will give us 52.1 grams. So 10 sheets should weigh about 52 grams. So let's just try that. Take me a second to count these out. 1, 2 there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's get the last one. And we're looking for about 52 grams. 53. Near enough. If I move it a bit, 52. So it's hovering about 52, 53, isn't it? You may think I'm cheating there, but it's somewhere around the 52, 53. So I'm happy with that. Now, you can try this at home. You can try weighing your own A4 paper. If you have thicker paper, you can find out how much that weighs. And if you have cardboard, of course, lots of sheets of card, you can do the same experiment. You might be surprised at the results. There's lots you can do here. So look around you, see what materials you have, and try and make up your own experiments. What about newspaper, for example?